Hey guys, it's Steve from Valor Replicas. I wanted to shoot a quick video tonight to talk about the utility belts that I make for cosplayers for a number of different characters, and more specifically how I make them and what they're made out of, because I've had a few questions. And all of the utility belts that I make are made in a similar fashion. So there's a number of different designs that I have on my Etsy store right now. A lot of people will ask if these are made from 3D prints, and they are not, not in the traditional sense. Each of the pieces that are a component of these belts all start out as a 3D print, but as a high resolution 3D print off of my resin printer. And then even that, each one of these pieces, once it comes off the printer, is sanded and finished and primed to really get like a beautiful, smooth, like flawless surface. But then that's not what gets mounted to the belt. What I'm doing for each piece of these belts, I pour a silicone mold for each of the individual pieces. So for the buckles, for the boxes, for the little cylinders, each one of the belts comes, I'm taking the time to pour these silicone rubber molds so that I can kind of quickly create accurate duplicates. And the other thing that this does is it allows me to quickly produce really flawless casts without having to do a lot of like sanding and finishing of 3D prints. What this results in is out of these molds comes a solid resin block cast. Most of the pieces of the belt are solid resin. So again, this is a super durable piece that is not going to have any print lines on it. It's not going to break if you hit it wrong. For the most part, everything you see here is solid cast resin. For some of the pouches, to save on weight, I will actually cast a piece of EVA foam in the middle just to make these a little bit lighter and save on some weight. But again, essentially, these are solid, durable cast resin. This is really important to me because, again, I know the toll that cosplayers put their costumes through. And I want something that's going to hold up for a lifetime. So again, these things, when you have a finished belt that's made this way, this thing's got a weight to it. It's got a durability to it. It's not something that's going to crack if it hits a wall or if it gets sort of bent in the wrong way. So again, that's really how I decided I wanted to make all of these pieces. And then these casts are then screwed and glued to a really durable web work belt. So again, these are not falling off. These are not going anywhere. This whole thing ends up being a piece of cosplay costume that's going to last a lifetime. The other thing I want to address is just every time I release a belt, I will get a question about the pouches. I tend to design sort of hard edge mechanical looking pouches because I like that look as opposed to sort of like a leather kind of a utility pouch. But every time I release a design, somebody will inevitably ask me, are the pouches functional? Do they open up? Can I put things in them? And no, they're not. These are all solid cast resin. There's no functionality to them, but that's by design for a couple reasons. One is, again, as I mentioned, I want these things to be durable and strong and hold this look together. I don't want a hinge that's going to break. I don't want sort of thin walls that could end up cracking. I want something that is a solid, beautiful costume piece that's going to hold up long term. And the second thing is, honestly, the internal capacity of most of these mechanical pouches, isn't much more than this piece of EVA foam that I float in the middle of it. You're lucky if it's maybe 2 by 3 by a half an inch. It's not enough space in any of these that would hold an iPhone or hold a wallet or anything like this. So I tend to think that the allure of functional pouches isn't paid off by the reality of what you can get on the inside of one if you make it. And again, it's such a sacrifice to the structural integrity that I'd much rather stay with something that's a solid cast piece and looks beautiful. Most of the cosplayers that buy these belts will usually just have some sort of like a pouch that velcros to the back of their belt where they'll store their phone or they'll store their wallet. All of these can be customized in a number of ways. They started out being Batman belts, but I've made belts for other characters. I'm open to private commissions if there's a particular design you're interested in. So that's it. I just wanted to share a little bit more about how I make these to see if there's any questions and let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Thanks.